I know what you might be saying, Ben, why are you copying an Anthony Fantano video? And I'm not, actually. I'm copying an Alpha Media video. Mostly because he's great and y'all should go check him out. He's fantastic. Now, this concept is pretty self-explanatory. I'll rattle off my 21 hot takes and you all can react however you want. And why 21, you ask? Well, I wanted to do 9 and then I did 10 more.
What's 9 plus 10?
21?
You stupid.
So, without further ado, let's get right into this. Older country such as Johnny Cash, Kenny Rogers, and Willie Nelson is infinitely better than any of the new country that is coming out. The only one that quality-wise comes close is Chris Stapleton. He has an amazing voice, his storytelling is great, and he is incredibly consistent with his projects. Speaking of artists from the South, International Players Anthem has got to be one of, if not the best rap song ever. The production is amazing, it has killer verses from Big Boi, Pimp C, Bun B, and Andre 3000, who, in my eyes, is the greatest rapper of all time. I've never heard a bad verse from him. He has one of the best discographies in rap history with being one half of Outkast. And yeah, while he might not have a solo album, the closest thing we do have to a 3-stack solo project, The Love Below, has been one of the most impactful albums of its generation. He has a lot of classic albums, but I think it's safe to say that your favorite artist does not need to have a classic album. I saw the opposite take on TikTok and I don't really get it. One project might be considered a classic to one person but not to another. For example, one might not look at Kids See Ghosts as a classic, but I do. I love how concise that project is, and I'll be honest, shorter albums are way better than longer ones. Making sure that only your best is on a project makes it way better than the albums that are just jam-packed with songs to fill a quota. That's why I actually got excited to see that Silk Sonic's album only has 9 tracks. And speaking of Bruno Mars, he should get credit for being one of the most consistent artists of the past decade. Doo-Wops and Hooligans, Unorthodox Jukebox, and 24 Karat Magic are all very solid projects. He's got some of the biggest hits of the decade, and his voice is unbelievable. And speaking of an artist whose voice is unbelievable, Mariah Carey is undoubtedly one of the best vocalists ever.
Where you go? I have bigger fish to swim. Mariah, I love the newest album.
Thank you.
But her, along with her discography, is somewhat overrated. However, none of her music is more overrated than All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Boo this man!
Well, why you booing me? I'm right.
Now, before you start typing that anti-Semitic comment, I will say that it is incredibly overplayed, and her TikToks have really ruined how great that song was for me.
It's time.
Shut the up.
However, it is still a pretty good song. Is it the best Christmas song of all time? No. That would go to Merry Christmas, War is Over by John Lennon. I was going to lean towards Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano, but I love the sentiment of this song, even if it has that questionable part in it. However, I'm not knocking Mariah Carey because she's a woman. Which, if you do that, I don't know what to tell you. I get not being able to enjoy someone like Megan Thee Stallion because God knows I don't either, but I can at least respect the talent she has. If you can't respect someone's talent because they're not a guy or that they're gay in the case of Lil Nas X, then you're A, being incredibly prejudiced, and B, missing out on some great music. However, with the rise of Olivia Rodrigo, someone who I actually enjoy, I can say that I think it's very annoying how she's getting marketed to children. Look, Sour to me was a fantastic album, but there is no topic on that project that a kid can truly understand. For example, Good For You has been ruined for me because of the 50 million times I had to hear little kids screaming at the top of their lungs when I was working at a sleepaway camp this summer. Funnily enough, I was going through a situation that was akin to what Miss Rodrigo was going through, but I digress.
Depression, kids.
To market an album to kids that they don't really understand for their parents' money is downright disgusting. Like, I hate how people are marketed, which makes MF Doom correct in his reasoning to why he wears the mask. In an interview with Red Bull, he said this.
The whole mask thing, really, it's a time in hip-hop where things, from my point of view, started going more to what things look like opposed to what things sound like. Before, we ain't know what MCs look like until we went to the party and seen them rocking, you know what I'm saying? Or seen them, you know, most of the time you see them rock on at a show before you even knew, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, before video, pre-video, you know, so, you know, you really was going off the sound of the record, straight skills. See, once it started getting more publicized, and it started being hip hop started to be more of a money making thing. Then you get these corporate ideas where you want to put what it looks like to sell what it sounds like. But we dealing with music, so what I did was I said, all right, look, I'm gonna come with the angle of it don't matter what I look like, it don't matter what the artists look like. It's more what the artists sound like. So the mask really represents the whole to rebel against the trying to sell the product as a human being. You know what I mean? It's more of a sound. So
And he couldn't be more right. Look at Travis Scott. Besides what happened in Houston, which was an absolute tragedy, his brand has become well more important than his music. I get the idea that while you're at your highest, you have to get your money up, which is why I also hate why artists like Drake stack their albums like what he did with Scorpion. And if we could talk about Drake for a second, if he could stop acting tough, I'd probably like his music a lot more. Like, you can't have a song like Knife Talk on an album like Certified Lover Boy. Plus, Drake acting tough ruined a pair of fantastic features from Project Pat and 21 Savage. He did this to the same, maybe even a little better effect on More Life, but then you have Skepta interlude where Skepta just shows him how it's done. And with Skepta, I will have to say, I was incredibly surprised that the all-day performance did not lead to more success in the US for those UK artists that joined EA on stage. But if there are going to be two artists that are going to take the UK sound to America, I well and truly think it's going to be Stormzy and
maybe Dave.
Stormzy already has a co-sign from Jay-Z and a track with Ed Sheeran, and with Dave, he, in my opinion, is one of the best storytellers and lyricists in the world right now. He's got two fantastic albums in Psychodrama and We're All Alone in This Together, which, in my opinion, is the best album of the year. Second is Call Me If You Get Lost, and third is Donda. While I get the calls for the other two albums to be number one, We're All Alone in This Together is such a fantastic album, and for right now, it's my album of the year. However, let's not forget that Faces by Mac Miller dropped on streaming services. This project from front to back, in my opinion, is the greatest mixtape of all time. Now it's got the bonus track Yeah, which is absolutely phenomenal, and all around I don't see how many people can top a mixtape like this. Mac also dropped Circles in 2020,
Alright, check it out.
which to me has become one of the most underrated years for music. Even with many big artists holding back, we still got career-defining projects from Freddie Gibbs, Nas, Logic, 21 Savage, Dua Lipa, The Weeknd, Fiona Apple, Run the Jewels, Phoebe Bridgers, Denzel Curry, and Amine, who in my opinion is due for a big push soon. His writing is consistently witty and his delivery is incredible. Two other artists who I think should be next up are Denzel Curry and Cordae. With Denzel Curry, while his time to be bigger than what he is now might have passed, he has consistently put out amazing projects. I had the luxury of seeing Denzel Curry in concert, and even with a pretty dead crowd, his energy was incredibly infectious. With Cordae, I believe he has the potential to become what we all thought Logic was going to be, and I really hope he doesn't go down the same route as Logic did. However, after hearing Super, I kind of worry that it'll be the case. One artist who dropped in 2020 and could drop in 2021 is Playboi Carti, and even if I particularly don't like his music, I can definitely respect his influence on mainstream music as it is. You've seen artists like Doja Cat and Post Malone try to copy his baby voice style on different tracks, which is funny because he took that from 645 AR.
Okay, no, he's taking the piss. This is, fam, it sounds like Mickey Mouse wants to f***ing rap all of a sudden.
But the fact that he's even made pop stars feel like they have to try his style out is incredible, and having that crossover really goes to show that listening to pop music really isn't that bad. Just because an artist is popular doesn't mean that their music is bland and for the consumers. It takes a lot of skill to make great pop music. I mean, that's really why you see so many different pop stars come and go. What does stay are music videos, which in my opinion make the song so much better. My example for this one would have to be the Forever video with LeBron. That one is so iconic that it legit marks a time during my life, but none of this can even come close to FIFA songs, which in my opinion are the greatest type of music ever. Do you want to know why? I don't know how many times I've been in a store, or in the car, or in any random place, and I've started to freak out because a song from FIFA has come on. But those are just my opinions. Let me know down below what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I know I'm correct, so it doesn't matter. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care and peace.